Okay, in this little video, I would like to show you how to do background remover. I think it's one of the most brilliant things that Canva um, can do for you. So I am going to go to create a post. Let's create a let's create a Facebook post. Um, as you have seen in the previous video on resizing, um, you can use their given templates, and I do all the time. And the reason I do is because they're already designed for you. They've already got elements that designers know work visually. So I often rely on their designs. But in the case of doing a background remover, you probably want to start with a blank post. So here's what happens when you pull up a blank Facebook post. And they'll show you again, they'll say, okay, here are the templates. If you want to, are you sure you don't want a template? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But in this case, I definitely don't, because I would like to create a post with the background removed. So I'm going to go to my uploads file because I've taken this picture already, so I don't need to take a new one for you. And I'm going to show you how simple this is. It's wonderful. And in fact, I'm going to show you how simple it is to do it with several pictures. So I'm going to show you what I did with this one. I am going to use this image of a bunch of my books that are in different languages, the Get Organized book in 7 different languages. And I took this picture on the floor. You can see the lovely looking carpet in the background, right? It really looks pretty, pretty tacky. Well, I can get rid of that background. So I go up here to edit image, and I just want to also show you that you can do all sorts of things up here with the tools. You can change the transparency of an image. Let's just look at that. See, you can make it go into the background if that's what you want to do. You can reposition the image in terms of what's in front and what's in back, and I may do that in just a minute for you. You can animate images, you can flip images, you can crop images, but I'm going to go to edit image. So here it is, edit image, right? And here it is. I use it a lot, so there it is, background remover. I just want to also show you, you can use filters for all of these, any design. So you can, I mean, if you want to really play around, just play around with some of these filters because they're very trippy. You can do all sorts of fun things here. I tend to stay with the simple simples, and the simple for me is the background remover. So let's just do that. And it does it all by itself. Taking its time, taking its time, taking its time. But in a minute, you'll see how cool this is. Boom. Background gone. Is that cool or what? Now, let's say I would like to add another, just that it was just adjusting, another image into this one. So I go back to my uploads, and here is the same book, but oops, in a different, there we go. And again, I have that icky background. I want to get rid of it. I go to edit image. I go to background remover, wait for it to process. It does its thing. It's going to take care of that ugly, ugly carpet, get rid of it. And then I can have put these images in any way I want. And boom, apply. Now, I have these images in here, and I want to do something more with this. I want to say, put a background that's nice behind them. Now that I've removed that icky background, I can put something really pretty. So I can go to backgrounds, right? And find something I like to put behind these images, whether it's a color, whether it's a pattern, whether it's an image. an abstract, whatever textures. Canva gives you so many choices. I'll just show you too that I mentioned that I'm a pro user. Do you see all these free things popping up? Well, as a pro user, some of these are available to me that will not be available to you. I'm trying to find a pro image if I can. Let's look at the patterns, for example. Sometimes those are more pro. If they don't say free, I'm suspecting that they are pro images. And so you may not be able to access all those images unless you go pro. But there are so many free images, you don't really need to. Something else I'm going to show you before I get that background first. Let's get the background. So I'm going to go back to all the backgrounds and choose one. I just want something fairly simple to put in the background of this. So I am going to go maybe with a gradient. Oh, that's not going to work. Let's just choose something really simple. Okay, so there's a simple background. It's not a very pretty background. I wouldn't probably use it in the end. I would probably try to find a color that's embedded in a lot of these, like maybe that brown color would be a nice background for these books. I'm just not seeing. Well, let's try that one. That's a little better because you want a color that will pop out the images, but not detract from the images. It's going to be something that you'd like to have pop out something in the images. Anyway, this is better. It's not great either. Now I want to add text to this, so I can go to text. I can add a heading, which is the largest. Now this is my branded Rookskill brand kit. Maybe I want to do my Carry Me Home brand kit. So I'm going to take out this heading by just selecting and deleting it and add a heading in my Rookskill brand kit, right? Remember I did that in the previous video. So add a heading. And I'm going to say get organized. Now, if I don't like that text for whatever reason, it's too branded to Carry Me Home, and I want something a little different, maybe I'll go with something a little more like the font that's on the books themselves, like, how about, just for fun, we'll just do that one. You can play around with fonts. You can play around with font sizes. I love to play with all of these elements just to see what works best. You'll get used to finding out what works best and what looks best to you. If you want to add other elements to the image, you can do that as well. You can find shapes. You can find photographs. What I really love is finding photographs and adding them to images. But you can do shapes, you can do graphics, you can do all sorts of fun things with elements as well. You can do squiggles or flowers or just about anything that you want. You can search for them. So let's say I want to search for kids, something kid-like. You can add here's a pro image. See that little pro thing there? I can use that because I have pro. But you can add an image like that to your whatever you're creating, and it gets more fun. And magic recommendations, even more fun. So all sorts of options for you here to play with, things that could be super fun for kiddos, super fun for teachers. And I really do love using photographs. These photographs are all part of the Canva repertoire, so you have rights to use them um, anytime you want. And just add elements to you. The rule is simple. It's the same rule you would use for getting dressed up. Um, Add everything that you want in there, and then before you step out the door, you take one thing away. So that you don't overload your imagery. But basically, you can play with this and you will get a feeling for it, and it's super fun. I hope you do play with it and enjoy it.